Hello and welcome to the 80th.1 episode of the Gochuucast. Tragically, last week we missed our first ever week because, well, technically it was uploaded. It was there.
Yeah, technically not
Um,
missed.
so usually I'm pretty paranoid about this. But today it missed my grasp. It went through my grasp. My eyes did not see that OBS fucked me over and disconnected my audio output. So
You
I
have
was the
checked
only
it this
one.
time, though,
Yeah,
right? It's
yes,
it's
it's
good.
going.
It's
We're
good.
good.
Okay, good.
Imagine us
So yeah,
having an 80.2 because we
80.2.
corrupt audio.
Yeah, I remember just I upload the episode, everything's all good, and I get a ping. It's like, why are you the only one talking this week? Is my audio broken? I'm like, that's not how audio
Wait,
works.
how many
That's not
hours
good.
after the episode did you find out? Because you messaged us like
It
3
wasn't
hours.
it wasn't that long afterward. I don't remember. Um, he's maybe
Where'd
like
you
an
ping?
Spaz pinged me.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, are you the only one talking? Is my audio doing
Yeah,
something
it's a
weird?"
solo
I'm like,
episode.
"Yeah." I'm like, "That's not how audio works, and so that's not good for me." That means the audio for them was
It's a
not
solo
recorded.
episode, man. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, like literally the only way that like it could have been on his end is if I like accidentally somehow mixed my audio to the left and your all's audio to the right. But
Yeah, that could
I
have worked.
literally
That'd be crazy.
I would have to I have to go out of my way to do that, so that was never gonna happen.
Stereo effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a good episode too. I was talking to PK before you joined. I'm like, damn, that was a good episode too. It's just gone.
Yeah. Like we actually had multiple decent topics the whole time. That
We could simulate them again.
That's what I was
well,
saying. Like you all just
well,
dub over.
Yeah.
It's too hard. I thought of a couple of things. Well, one thing specifically that I saw in your timeline, but
Yeah,
I
there is
couldn't
I
remember.
remember that.
there's some new information also from one of the topics from the last episode.
Okay,
that
cool. Because it has only been like what two,
It's
3
been like
days.
I recorded
3-ish
Friday,
days.
So
so
yeah,
like 3 days.
I was like, damn, we're not gonna have that much. I thought about a couple things, but yeah.
There's some things.
All right.
We got stuff.
All right, all right.
We got
You go ahead, PK.
we can
You seem like you have some.
Well, so in the Fabled Lost episode, we talked about something near and dear to my heart, just Blue Box getting an anime, and
Yeah.
we discussed there are a few different theories on the production studio for that,
Mhm.
and in particular, we mentioned that there was amongst Blue Box fans a very small rumor going around that TMS might be the studio for the Blue
Right.
Box anime. However, we couldn't find any like notable like leakers about that. It was just kind of a conversation that was going around, and allegedly someone said it, but I couldn't find who said it. However, I think yesterday it was, maybe even this morning, a leaker that Daniel is familiar with
Okay.
echoed the same sentiment, which was that
A
it's
yapper or a leaker? You gotta. There's a
a
big difference.
leaker. Not I don't follow. I
leaker,
don't follow
yes.
yappers.
Not a yapper, a leaker also
Yeah,
said
Actual.
that
Okay.
it's,
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So they quote tweeted
in
one
no
of their.
uncertain terms, they said it's
Yeah.
TMS.
So
It's-
they had an earlier tweet from when like the Cloverworks things were going on, and so they quote tweeted that where they're like, okay, so it's not an Aniplex or a fuck was it Toho? Anyway,
So I think it was Toho.
yeah, Toho.
Yeah.
It was not an Aniplex or a Toho thing, so it's very odd that Cloverworks would be like potentially doing it. And so they quote tweeted that and are like, yep, that makes sense. It's not Cloverworks. It is. It's looking like TMS or whatever the fuck the tweet said. Or like makes sense. It's TMS.
It was like
Something to
very
that
yeah, it
extent.
was very direct words, basically saying it is TMS.
Oh, true. It's a TMS production.
True, it is TMS.
Okay.
Which is kind of fun because we were talking about we had the whole conversation about yappers, which is
Right.
a new term to this episode. However, in the last episode, it came up a lot, and the whole concept basically was we couldn't find any leakers who said it, so it was only yappers. So it was like maybe it's TMS, maybe it's not. However,
No.
now we have
Hopefully,
now
no.
we have a non-yapper.
Yes. One of my
And that's
like
good, 'cause
3
TMS
sources
has
of
done
information.
And it's like TMS has done some pretty good stuff. So if that is the case, I'm happy with that, and it's not Go Hands. And anything that's not Go Hands, well, not anything. Let me be careful
I
with my
don't think
words.
Gohan's was like the worst case scenario. I'm gonna be
I
honest.
think no, you're right. I think Go Hands would have been like middle of the pack scenario. That's why I stopped and I was like, let me be careful with my words because Engi exists.
True.
You couldn't got an Engie.
Although I
you
haven't
got all of
minded
those.
Kimi Zero. I thought Kimi Zero has been pretty good, but I feel like people who read it have been discussing it also being really bad adaptation.
Yeah, it doesn't.
However, me being a anime only, I've kind of liked it.
Yeah, I mean it's just like rom-com shit, and so it's like you're not gonna be paying as much attention to the animation quality or the drawings, or well, I mean maybe a little
Right.
bit, but like it's like a deal breaker. It's not gonna be like where Meadows is gonna come in, we're gonna get like slideshow ice skating, and I'm gonna like just die. I'm gonna be so mad. But anyway, I'm just gonna keep dooming until you gotta have low expectations.
until it's decent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Go Hands wouldn't have been the worst case scenario. However, I like TMS. They've done. I don't think they've ever done me wrong. Maybe they've done me wrong. What is TMS
I'm sure
done?
TMS has done something wrong.
TMS, yeah.
I can't imagine their hands are clean.
No one's hands clean.
TMS.
They do Dr. Stone. I love Dr. Stone. Oh, they have right. That's not really their fault. They're probably doing well on it. It's just they own Rent a Girlfriend, so that's a little bit of
Yeah.
a stain. Oh, they do Nagatoro.
I hate
Oh
looking at some
no.
of these because I don't know which ones they're just a producer on. Yeah, they didn't do Nagatoro. They like
That's fair. I
OLM
can
did
only agree.
Nagatoro. At least season 2. I don't know who did season 1. I forget. It wasn't DMS. Yeah, Telecom did season 1. So they're a producer on it, which means like
They did comedy.
yeah, they like
Comedy,
helped out with
comedy.
it.
Anyway,
Yeah.
they did a great job with Fruits Basket, which is the main thing that I look at in a comparison because I can't like look at something like a Dr. Stone, for example, and then be like, oh yeah, Dr. Stone works, therefore Blue Box will work. But if I
Yeah,
compare it to
maybe you
something
got the
like
Fruits
Fruits
Basket
Basket,
team on.
exactly. If I compare it to something like Fruits Basket, then I'm like, okay, that's a like generally similar
Yeah.
format.
Similar genre, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, not genre, but like, you know, you get
Yeah.
it.
I think you're in good enough hands. Maybe not like top tier hands, but like look at the job done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But they've done well with several projects, so yeah, they did Cinderella 9. That's based. Did they actually do Cinderella 9 though? They did. Well, did they? I never know the difference between studio and producers and which one. Studios are the ones that I would look at for like they made it, right?
Yeah, they are like the main force behind it. Producer. So if you look at something like Zom 100, I think they had Shaft listed as producer because they came in and helped. Um,
Yeah,
I think if they have a heavy and like obviously there'll be times where you outsource to other studios and stuff for help, or just happens all the time. But I think if they have enough of a presence, like on a consistent basis, then it would be what's it called? They would be listed as producer.
hmm fair enough. But yeah, so abridged part of that conversation. Looks like Blue Box will be done by TMS.
Nice.
The funniest part of that conversation though was us looking at the character designs
And try
and
and like
being like,
just
it kind
Trying
of
to
looks
figure out
like,
who was
yeah, be like it kind of looks like TMS art, or
yeah.
like, oh, that doesn't look like. Who
We're
else did we
leaning
talk
pretty
about?
heavy
Talk about
TMS.
Doga. We talked about Doga Koba at one point.
I think we said it wasn't them
And we were
though.
like, no, it doesn't look like them. Yeah. But that was a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
fine.
basically a
Yeah.
recap from last week.
Pretty much a recap.
The Lost
slash-
episode.
The Lost episode. That was
It-
like part 1 of 3.
yeah. To us, it's an update, but since it wasn't
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
talked to on previous podcasts, really, other than what was the last time we talked about it? We just had the confirmation, basically.
I think a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
we
feel
talked
like-
about the
Yeah,
voice
I
actors.
definitely remember just talking about that. So
It'll be good. I'm excited.
Yeah.
wait, I feel like I asked this last time, but there's no confirmed date, right? They just know
Yeah,
that.
it's 2024. That's all I know.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. Now I remember.
We were talking about how it had 2024 date at least confirmed, and Medalist has nothing.
Yeah, Medalist has more information revealed about the anime, but we don't know like when it airs or when it might air. Interestingly enough, I think we're gonna get more Oshino Code Season 2 information very
Okay.
soon.
Good.
There's an AMA on the global Oshino Code Twitter, whatever, where people, overseas could ask questions to. It was the director, like director, character design, and then I forget who else. Maybe series composition, I can't remember. But basically, someone asked like, hey, when are we gonna get news on season 2? And they said, keep an eye out for. I forget what they're doing, but it's in December, I believe. So we'll have new information on season 2 before the end of the year.
Gotcha. Okay. Good. I'm excited for that. So.
Yeah.
Well, I
So-
feel most people are, but yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Should be good. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And I think I don't know, I just hope they can. I mean, I know you guys have both completed the manga, right?
I mean, complete is a strong. It's not over.
No, I mean, like, completed up to the point where
I'm caught up with it. I don't know what.
Yeah, caught up. Okay, yeah, caught up is the right word. I was like, okay, technically not completed.
I'm a bit behind, but not.
Yeah, I
like
remember
an
you had
absurd
completed
amount.
it or caught up to the point when
I'm
the
caught
anime
up
was
to the
on like
interlude.
episode 4 or something. Not 4, like 5, but like
Yeah.
at that point, whatever the manga had completed, you're up there. Okay,
I'm caught up to the point where they started doing the interludes, and then so that was a couple months ago at this point. So I'm probably like a dozen chapters maybe behind, if I had to guess.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay. And I think the first season went over like the first, you said like 40-ish chapters.
40, like straight up 40.
Actually, literally 40.
I can't remember if it dipped its toes into 41 a little bit, but it'll probably like go back over that anyway at the start of season 2.
Yeah, got it. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, I'm just so excited. Like, I just love the first season, so I'm anxiously waiting for any sort of new information to see what's coming up. So
Yeah. So
yeah.
it's next month some point.
Yeah, next month.
Unless he's doing a little trolling.
Maybe a little trolling.
Maybe a little trolling. But yeah, I guess something that happened recently that was very funny. I think Spat and Precast alluded to maybe bringing it up. I was gonna do it regardless, but a war was ignited on Twitter.
Yes.
Anime fans versus K-pop stans.
Yeah, I actually read the story, I think like 4 days ago, but I was like, I didn't think it was that big of a deal, right? Because I thought it was like, I don't know, just like a few people like mauling about it. But apparently, considering the amount of like likes and retweets and all that it got, it seems to be like a kind of a big thing. So you can continue. But
Yeah.
So I only like partially understand it, because I was laughing at Brandon's tweets.
Yeah, so what happened was, so there's a K-pop idol, right? And I don't know why he was talking about stuff, but he on camera, he was talking,
recommending it to the fans or something like that.
He was talking about anime that he had like watched or planned to watch, something like that. And he mentioned Made in Abyss. And so all the K-pop stans were like, oh my god, that's like, there's morally wrong stuff in Made in Abyss. We must cancel him and condemn him to hell. And so they went fucking insane. And so Brandon, content creator friend, he just quote tweeted it, and he was like, I'm paraphrasing heavily here, but he's basically like, that's stupid. And the tweet went very much viral, and it became I was gonna say a tug of war. For real, it's just anime fans dunking on K-pop stands as they like melt down over their idol having an opinion that's
Right,
different
yeah.
than theirs. I think there's like another K-pop
No, there
idol
were
who
multiple,
like
yeah.
had the
Multiple,
manga,
There
and they're
definitely
like,
are.
manga, yeah,
oh
there were
my
multiple that
god,
yeah.
yeah,
And yeah, no, I as the resident closet K-pop guy, was a closet fan, okay? And I'm not gonna be judged for it, but so I had heard this. Like I don't follow like those specific idols and stuff like that, but like
yeah,
I'd heard this and like I was reading like I know Reddit, but like I was reading the thread and they were so like nasty. Like some of the comments people are making are just like, bro, you're just looking for a reason to hate, number one, and
exactly.
just like you mentioned, like a reason to I guess cancel or whatever you want to call it. Um and like I guess like so it's somewhat true in anime that like fans of a certain anime will like kind of hate on not hate on but like hate on another fans of another anime, like the whole like my anime list like fighting over the top spot and stuff like that. But like in
Yeah,
K-pop especially, it's like a very big thing to like, especially because a lot of the fans are young, so they're very I mean
stupid.
immature obviously, but like people will like try to hate on other groups, idols, just find anything to like hate on. And it just becomes like just an excuse to like hate on another person, which is kind of disgusting, but like yeah, that is just unfortunately what happens. And yeah, I felt really bad because it's like, I mean, you and I have seen Made in Abyss. I haven't only seen the first season, but like we both liked it, and we think there's a lot of good in it despite the problematic parts. So
It's
I think it's
weird,
just possible.
but it's
Yeah.
like I don't get it. All right, look, there is so much worse in anime. Like, come on. If he said he was like,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm a
I
big
think
redo of healer guy, I'm like, okay,
yeah, yeah, of course.
maybe you're
And
like,
like
oh, what the fuck? But no, come
and like I
on.
don't think it's wrong to call out like certain parts of anime that are like bad. Like I think
Yeah,
that's
no one's gonna
fine as
Oh, I
deny that
original,
agree.
like Made in
Yeah.
Abyss has weird parts.
but
Like,
that's
no
not
one
what you're
disagrees with
doing.
that.
It's like you're just finding a reason to hate. So
Yeah,
Well, and
yeah.
this was one of the things that when I was looking at the threads that Brandon was talking in, he was basically like, yeah, nobody defends those parts of Made
Yeah,
in Abyss. But it's not like every second.
exactly.
yeah.
And
People
it's
are like, oh
like
my god, it's like in every episode all the time. It's like no, it's like every now and then there's gonna be a little bit of a weird thing. It's not every episode. And he, because there's one he responded to that was like, have you actually seen the show?
I think we
And they're
read the
like,
same
no,
one.
but
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
heard about it and I watched like a video essay. I'm like, oh, and he was like, oh,
video
not a
essay.
video
That's crazy.
essay, art Atrix, come on.
yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, uh, like, yeah, that's just,
Just
I don't know, dude.
unfortunate.
Especially because, like, if a video essay is going to bring that up in detail, they're probably, like, watching one that's, like, actively trying to make Made in Abyss sound worse than it really is.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that's true, right? Because it depends on like what you're looking for. I mean,
Yeah,
it's you know, you'll just humans in general seek out like opinions that are like what they like opinions that they already believe in, right? It's like um yeah, it's I don't know, I don't know what else to say really, but it's just like I think I I understand that like there's a lot of pushback towards like what people might call like cancel culture and things like that, and but like I think there is a very very big difference between like holding people accountable for their actions and like condemning certain behaviors and like man just
yeah.
plain hating. So
There
yeah, that's
is
all.
there's a big difference between like everyone looking at EDP and be like, yeah, you don't need to be on this platform, buddy. And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
like someone being like, yeah, I watched Made in Abyss, and it's like, yeah, let's kill him. Uh,
yeah.
Well,
I
it
think
was
the
even like,
funniest thing with like the K-pop tweets is like they're very like mean about it, but they use wording that like is very like I don't know, they're trying to be like sensitive when they're telling people to kill themselves. Like you should K-word yourself. Like just
Yeah,
say the word dumbass. Like come on.
yeah.
If you're
It's like
already
a
gonna
it's like
take
a
that step, then
Twitter teenage girl thing. I don't know. Yeah.
or they're like try not get suspended or whatever. I don't know, dude.
Hmm.
in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Back in my day.
Um, it's also like, I don't know. I always find stuff like that weird because it's also the direction that you point that stuff at. Like, if people are in Made in Abyss conversations, and they're like, yeah, the author is kind of a weirdo for drawing some of those things. Fine. Um, I honestly have no idea what stuff we're referring to, so I say this very loosely. But I think like if it's something that weird and you're holding it against the artist or like the person who came up with it, that's more fair to me than
Yeah.
like
Oh, that's a good point.
someone
Yeah.
just like enjoying the show and especially enjoying like the good parts of the show and then not enjoying those types of things or like the fact that they don't have to enjoy the random weird moments to still enjoy the overall art.
Yeah, I will say like as I will be like the first to admit, Made in Abyss has shit in there, dude. I like images are just seared in my mind of how
Oh, for
odd
sure.
and fucked up they are. You've only seen season one. The
Yeah,
movie,
no,
dude.
I'm sure it's
Oh my
worse, but
god,
yeah,
the
even
movie.
season one is like a
Honest,
lot.
the movie has 2 scenes in it that I honestly think are top 3 some of the most uncomfortable moments I've ever had in anime. But I can like put those aside, and be like, okay, was that a bit weird and over the top? Yeah, I'll get over it though because that's like like a total of like 5 seconds of my life or of this movie, like having I don't know, like what was it, hour 40 runtime or whatever the fuck. So like 5 seconds out of an hour 40 minute, whatever, it was spent me being like, oh, that's fucking weird, and then I moved on with my life. Yeah, and like you said, you don't have to even going after the author, like just because the author put it in their story doesn't mean like they agree with it. Um,
Mhm.
There's one tweet, I don't know exactly, I don't know if they were an artist or a mangaka or something, but they put out a tweet in English and they're like, yeah, so a bunch of overseas people were like getting on me for like, oh my god, that's morally wrong. Like I can't believe you support that. But I don't, just because I put these in fiction doesn't mean uh like you use fiction as like a way to explore these uncomfortable topics that you wouldn't want to,
Mhm.
you know, delve into like real life stories about it. Because like obviously I don't support these things. I'm just gonna stop like having anything to do with you people. Is basically what he said. Um,
Mhm.
it's like I get if you're uncomfortable with it, just don't consume the media. Like if it's genuinely problematic, then people will call it out for what it is. I think
Yeah.
people are good enough when uniting against genuinely uh horrible things in media. Like like not cancel, like a righteous cancel culture. If someone needs to be removed from something, they will be. Like you don't have to cause a big stink on Twitter about a dude watching a show. Like, come on.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think also the biggest thing I've seen, or like I don't want to say complaint, but whatever you want to call it, is like they'll say that like okay, he has younger fans, and it's like impressionable to like recommend something that could be um like I don't know, traumatizing, harmful to younger fans. But it's like that's the whole problem, right? It's like he's
Mm.
recommending a show he's seen. He's not recommending people to like engage in those actions, and it's like
Didn't he
um
also like not recommend it?
It wasn't.
I'm
He was
pretty
literally
sure
just
the
listing
interview.
off
yeah,
things.
the
Yeah,
initial question was any recommendations, but then he just started
and
listing
he
it,
just
right? Like he
said
wasn't
like,
even
"Oh,
recommending
He's
I've
like,
it.
yeah,
encouraged
these are some of the
like
things I've
people to
watched
watch
recently. Yeah.
these."
And it's just like of- okay, let's say even if it was something like bad, like truly bad, it's like you, if it was something truly bad, like let's say he said YouTube healer, something ridiculous like that, right? Number one, yeah, it would be right to condemn him for that. But number two, it's like it's like there's so many that's like the problem with like the whole thing is like to look up to to another person and like think they're perfect and like pretend that they like don't engage in like certain vices is like it's like ridiculous to me. But like I mean like that's the whole industry. Like to be honest, it's just like painting this perfect picture of like a person and like having these young people like get obsessed with them. I mean, it's true to some extent with like celebrities in general, right? Like, um, people look up to them, and then there's like a lot of idolatry, I guess is the word that people use, but it's like looking up to them as like this perfect human being, and it's like, holy shit, dude! Like, you gotta stop. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. It's
I I just hate the idea that like you have to use your like the platform that you have for something.
Mhm.
I don't know, just this idea
Right.
that everything has to be, I guess, lack of a better word, political. It doesn't have to be anything political. Just like on a general level, you don't have to use. You can just use your platform to. Like, I would never
Exactly.
go on a stream and be, all right, guys, let's talk about the geopolitical situations of the world. Like, no, stupid. I'm talking about anime, dude. Like,
Right.
I have never. I'm not gonna do something that's like so far outside of my content range. Even then, just talking about stuff like that in general. Uh, if you're just spouting your own beliefs, that's like you're using your platform, but like the people who disagree with you are gonna say you're using it for dumb shit, and the people who agree with you are like, yes, yes, King, use your platform for good. There's just no reason to go into that type of stuff, and so when you just have a guy who's like trying to live his life, and then all these like little teen girls are being fucking stupid over it, like he watched one show. I absolutely like is him watching Made in Abyss is not as problematic as you being on like super like parasocial and being just telling a bunch of people, like random strangers to kill themselves because
Absolutely. Yeah.
they disagree with that. You know,
Yeah.
watching
It's
Made in
just
Abyss is problematic.
yeah, it's disappointing to see. That's all. And yeah, like the thing about the platform, right? Like I think also not expecting people to use their platform for like, I mean, just expecting them or what were you saying? Like,
So you shouldn't expect people to
yeah,
use the platform that they have for shit that does not like apply to that
right.
platform.
And I think not
Yeah.
expecting that actually, I think that's why like certain people who do use their platform for good, those people stand out. Like that's to me, that's like it helps like those people stand out if you're not expecting that out of everybody, right? Um, like someone yeah, there's just like a lot of athletes that use their platform for good, and there are a lot of athletes that or athletes and celebrities in general that um you know they don't they just use Twitter to communicate with their fans. Like that's it. It's just plain and simple. Like
I don't think
yeah,
it's
there shouldn't be an
wrong
expectation.
to like. Obviously, it's good to go out of your way to like do genuinely good things, but
Yeah,
it's not
and
wrong
that
to
should be
just
praised. But
keep.
you know,
It's not
yeah,
wrong to keep to yourself, like
exactly.
just because you have like fallen into this like
Yeah,
platform or
their
whatever.
beliefs and their life is like none of your business. It's like what they choose to share, right? Like
Yeah, people
that's
are
the
like, "Oh my god, use your platform, Twitch streamer, to talk about this." I'm like, Twitch streamers are fucking stupid as shit. You don't want their opinion on these. Like,
they're
come on, man.
entertainers. That's their job,
Yeah,
right?
like, do
Yeah.
you really think that XQC can give any like rational discussion about fucking anything? Like, I can't tell what he's talking about half the time if I see a clip. He's not gonna be able to give you a reasonable take on any uh single situation that might crop up in the world. Uh, because he's gonna always gonna be in that entertainment mode where he's gonna play himself up. I think that a lot of people just who are in entertainment and such, when they're on camera, they're going to be playing up their personality because that's how you keep
Yeah.
viewers engaged and shit like that. And so, I don't think you're ever gonna get much of an. The only honest take you'll ever get out of a like a person who's on camera is if they're in. Almost never. Like even when you push someone to like an extreme situation where they need to apologize, like half the people are just sorry they got caught, and so yeah, it's just a very like small percentage of. You're never gonna get people real on camera for the most part, unless they're just not fucking watching. So it just expecting people to talk out about whatever thing that you think at that moment is important, and
Yeah.
then yeah, it's like there are so many things in the world to talk about. So just like talking about current thing is not. Is that really a good use of like I could be using my platform to talk about all these other things, but I'm not because it is just at that moment you're focused on that
Exactly.
the thing that is in your field of vision.
Yeah.
I mean, it's yeah. I don't know. I always just generally dislike the idea of overstating people's like platform for things that are not what they're directly involved in. Like obviously, if you were to go out of your way and say like, "Oh, this is something I believe or something I support," then you're using your platform. But if in like this case, right, he just mentions some anime that he's watched recently, doesn't voice any support or anything. I feel like making this like a use of his platform to promote something like this is just too big.
Yeah, I hate the, like Spam mentioned earlier, like the role model for children. What fucking kid is gonna see this interview? Literally none of them. Most of the young, like little, like fucking 10-year-old girls that are watching these K-pop uh idols that, like, maybe they don't need to be watching Made in Abyss. They're not gonna be fucking watch. They're not gonna watch it in the first place because they're not looking at these interviews. They're like, oh my god, mom, there's like a concert nearby. Can we go? And then they're gonna listen to that concert. Like, wow, that was awesome. And then they're just gonna go back to like not caring that much. It's like the vast majority. It's just the people on the people who are on Twitter and shit complaining. You're old enough to like make the decision that, yeah, I don't. This isn't really for me. I don't want to watch this. Um, yeah. And Spat, you got like a little, like mic is blowing or something.
Oh, hello?
Okay,
Test?
Mr.
Test? Can
Crackle.
you hear me?
All right, well, you're the only ones who can hear the crackle that allegedly exists.
Allegedly, yeah.
The difference is the
Can you hear?
viewers.
Is it fine now, or
Yeah,
is it
yeah,
still?
it's fine. It's fine now.
Another, not to get us off track, but
No, you're
I
good.
feel like we have talked about this a good amount.
Mhm.
And something somewhat big that happened today, the day we're recording, dating this episode, is the author of Hunter x Hunter. There was an interview that he did where he was talking about one of the potential endings for the series, not the one that he wants to do, but one that he decided he didn't want to do, and was basically just like, if I die before I finish the series, you can consider this the ending.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
And
read that because I
yeah,
haven't
yeah, it's
watched
fine.
either
It's
arc.
Oh,
fine.
this font.
It's fine to not read it. I just posted it to show some of that. And we don't have to go into specifics of what it is. You can find anyone listening who's interested in that. You can find all the information. It's like a very vague writing of the ending. Like, I don't think it gives away anything about where the story is going from here, which is also kind of interesting. But I don't know. It was just an interesting move that he kind of just like gave an ending, like one of the mediocre ones that he didn't want to do, and was like, "Here's an ending if I die."
Yeah, it's a sad situation with him. The fact that this is even like brought up, he's like, I mean, obviously his situation is very difficult. Like him drawing manga is extremely painful for him, and so
Hmm.
honestly, it's very likely Hunter x Hunter is never going to finish. And so I don't know. I mean, it's more than George R. R. Martin does with like Game of Thrones or whatever. It's like, yeah, I'll write it eventually.
Yeah,
As he like keeps getting older, and 13 years later, he's on death's door probably, and still hasn't done anything. Not that I don't even fucking read or watch Game of Thrones, but I find that funny as a comparison that like, uh, one author's like, yeah, I don't know if this is gonna happen. Honestly, here's an ending just in case.
yeah.
And the other's like, yeah, I'm working on it. Maybe.
It was interesting. It's an interesting move. A little bit concerning, of course. Because if you've gotten to the point where you're like leaking your own bad ending just to be like, hey, just in case you guys need something, here you go.
Yeah.
That
I mean, it's
feels
not
pretty
bad to have like
dire.
a contingency plan as if you have like a long running series, like just in
Yeah.
case. Like
It's not. I know
the
Oda has a bunch of like, they've talked about he's written like the manuscript to the end of One Piece and has like told the story to his editors or stuff like that. Like, um obviously all of this stuff that people say, we don't know
yeah.
what what all precautions have been taken, but even just like some of the things that you hear with stuff like that, it's like, well, at least with a story as long as One Piece, he has some sort of plan
Contingency.
if something bad were to happen.
Yeah, ReZero's author has like a similar thing. He's like, I'm not gonna have anyone finish writing this shit. However, I have the entire rest of the story like plan like outlined out basically, and he has like a close friend that will release all of the details. He'll answer all of the mysteries and shit,
Yeah.
just in case. But obviously, I don't want that. I would like to read the whole
Yeah.
thing. Don't.
Obviously, you're getting like the spark notes
Yeah,
if
like it wouldn't
if
mean
that
as
happens.
much, without his actual like full writing. Uh, but it is like I guess a piece of solace, like just in case the unthinkable happens to someone who is more than fine, I would assume. Uh, we have the end to this, life work basically. But, I mean, it's a
So you're saying
situation.
One Piece will end.
It. I mean, he might die first. You never. You never know.
It's got a plan.
He's like on his deathbed. It's like 5 more years, guys. I swear, it's for real this time. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
It's a depressing thought, but it's kind of
a
big
little bit.
news. So like worth talking about. At
Yeah,
least
we're
like
bringing it
that's
up.
Yeah,
a thing that
it
happened.
is interesting. I don't know because also like a contingency plan for like, let's say it has to abruptly end for death or whatever. It's like how far can you like like let's say okay, let's just say you had a planned story, manga, anime, whatever, and like you die when there's 70%. Like how much can you have you planned out the last 30%, or if you only planned out the ending? Like I don't know. Like that feels
I mean, it just depends on the story,
yeah.
probably.
It's just like
Like
it would be kind of awkward to end
for
in some.
ReZero, I think considering he's like, yeah, if I die, don't worry, someone will release the Spark Notes. It'll have all the
Yeah,
questions you ever wanted answered. He's got that shit planned out. For someone like Oda in One Piece, he don't know. He don't know when the fuck that shit's gonna end. He has no idea what he. Well, he knows what he's doing, but he also doesn't at the same time. And so there might be more he adds at some point, like along the way, to like flesh things out. But he very likely only has the like a bare bones outline of what he wants to do,
Yeah.
and then the
It's
ending.
probably something similar. The spark notes, and I think it'd be really hard for any of these creators to not know in detail the ending, but it's the like middle stuff, getting
Well, yeah,
to the
because you have to
ending.
know how you're gonna get to the ending before you
Yeah,
can like. You have to know your ending so you know how you want to get to it. Is because I was like the middle is probably the hardest part to write, and so if you don't know what the fuck you're building towards, it gets that much harder. Because at that point, you may as well just be writing filler episodes or something.
it's also interesting when I read the Togashi stuff. So this was like ending number 4 is the one that he released, and then he has like 3 other ones that are basically if he gets there at a
Let's see
certain
here.
point and it's just like they can't do it anymore, then he has like my understanding is basically 2 different like bailout endings depending on where he's at.
It's like fuck it, I want to end. I'm so done. I just want to end it here, and so they have like ending A for chapter whatever the fuck, and
Yeah,
maybe if
exactly.
he has the motivation to go beyond, yeah, he'll do like the second ending. It's interesting. I mean, he's got as long as he knows like what, as long as it's not like an abrupt like, if he knows what he's doing, he knows what he's doing. It is interesting that like he'd have multiple different, and because at that point it's like, so if you have this ending here, maybe he wants to build to something greater. Maybe ending A is like good enough, but he'd rather get to ending B because it fleshes certain things out more. Um, yes, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, just having a
But at the
point.
same time, like having a ending is better than not having an ending. Is probably like the other thought there.
Yeah, yeah, it's not a situation that happen. Oh, you know what? That reminds me. I don't think I talked about this last week in the forgotten the forgotten episode, the lost tapes.
yeah.
But there was an anime announcement from Studio Bones, and so we shit on K-pop enough. We now it's time to shit on anime fans.
Let's go.
My favorite type of anime fans to shit on, the Shonen Bros. And
I've heard a
so
little bit about this, but I don't know
yeah, so
anything about the series.
let me actually like bring up the title so I don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Um, so the English title is Magical Girl and the Evil Lieutenant used to be arch enemies. And so it
Okay.
looks, maybe it's like a Romeo Juliet type of romance or whatever. But it's Magical Girl anime. And Studio Bones announced at Anime NYC that they are going to be adapting it. The special thing about this adaptation is that unfortunately the mangaka passed away. I don't remember exactly when. Was it 2015? Yeah, 2015 is when, unfortunately, they passed away and were unable to complete their work. It looks like it had 20 chapters, 3 volumes. By the time it was unfortunately canceled. So basically, the reason Studio Bones is doing this is the author was homies, I guess, with people at Studio Bones. And so all this time later, they're like, you know what? We've been planning this. We're going to give this an adaptation, and they'll give it an anime-only ending, I guess.
Yeah.
And so, basically, it's like a, posthumous, it's a passion project, basically. They're dedicating this anime project to someone that they knew and respected. And unfortunately, this touching story was undercut by the stupidity of anime fans. And so any announcement tweet for this anime was like, "What? Oh my god, I wanted this shonen anime or whatever the fuck." I saw people like, "What? This isn't One Punch Man season 3. Why are we adapting this dog shit instead of a Soul Eater remake? What the fuck do you need a Soul Eater remake for? Go read the fucking manga. Come on."
I would like a Soul Eater remake, but that's
okay.
not
You get
a
bit of
better.
I would enjoy a Soul Eater remake.
Okay, but anyway, Studio Bones they're gonna give you season 7 of My Hero Academia. You'll be fine. Basically, yeah, just a bunch of people whining and bitching about them not getting the thing that they wanted adapted by Studio Bones adapted. And, I've never heard of this title. I don't know anything about it, but I'm gonna watch it just because, fuck shonen
Like a
fans.
nice story.
Yeah, it could be good. This could be peak fiction, and they're calling it shit without ever touching it. Better than the K-pop fans.
I do enjoy Magical Girls, so
I only watched one Magical Girl.
I say that as if I've watched more than 3. Let me look at my list.
Yeah, I've only watched the first season of Madoka, which I'll be doing the movie for soon, probably.
Smiley face.
I'll finish season 1 one day.
One day. Yeah, I might do a video on it too. It's like a super oversaturated topic, but fuck it, whatever.
Oh, I have Symphogear now too. Let's go. I also have Demon Girl next door. So
you watched that a few months ago, right?
Calling Symphogear Magical Girl is pretty meme, but it has the tag.
It's like Magical Mecha Girl.
I'll count it because I need to bump my numbers anyway, from 2 to 3. Technically 4 if season 2 of Symphogear I'm currently watching. Currently watching is a very loaded word with me, though.
I feel like that magical mecha girl. I mean, there are more series like that. I think Magical Girl is a fair evaluation of what it is. I don't know.
That's probably fair. Symphogear I feel like kind of skates the middle ground of a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which isn't necessarily a problem, but it also does. Man.
I don't know. This will be my second Magical Girl anime though, because I hate people, and so I want to spite them. But I mean, it could be bad. Who knows? But
yeah, imagine if it was bad, bro. Then the shonen fans, they got you.
I still don't give a fuck. Even if it's bad, I you know what? I'll take a bad Magical Girl anime over the happiness of people that I don't respect.
Understandable. He's got a goal. You know what? I respect that. He's got a mission.
Yeah.
I can't hate. But
that's not gonna happen, PK.
I know. I'm just being toxic.
You've been holding off on your bet for years.
I think he's forgotten. Yeah. It's only been like a year.
I mean, that's probably forgotten, just like we technically never finished the AMQ tournament.
We won the AMQ tournament, I believe.
Was it like an individual tournament, or were you guys doing?
It was like
it was duos
thing. Yeah, duos.
Okay, gotcha.
And we got to the finals for it was like $20 or some shit. It was like the prize, I think. but we just never played the finals game, and everyone forgot about it. We would have won in my heart.
We would have won in my heart. I also am pretty sure we were better than the other team.
Yeah,
I'll
I
say
don't
it.
know anything about the other team, so
I'm washed nowadays, so if it ever comes back, we're doomed.
yeah, probably. Anyway,
I feel like there was something else that I wanted to talk about, and I'm forgetting it.
Was there anything from last episode that had been updated? I'm just trying to think. I said last episode. I
No,
mean,
we talked.
beta version.
We talked about the JJK stuff, but
yeah,
there hasn't been anything new with that.
it would be difficult to rehash.
That was a
Oh
long
yeah, fair enough.
conversation.
Yeah,
That was a great
That was-
conversation to have, and it's just
It
fucking
was
gone.
a good conversation, and it was
Right.
chunky, and it's lost to time.
Yeah, you can hear me talk about it one day, baby. if I release the audio, you hear my side
Synthesized,
only. Not
Synthesize
the
an
right sides to
AI
it, but
speaking as being spatula.
yeah, I ask an AI to fill in the gaps in the conversation.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, we had ChatGPT do it, but you need a voice. You need to record us to like the services that, like.
I mean, I don't need
basically
to.
just AI voice services, right? You can just,
Believe
yeah.
it or not, we have 79 other episodes of.
Yeah, that's true. You
all
got
having
enough
recorded.
data.
We 100%
Hopefully.
have the content
Yeah,
to
we had.
get something.
You just need like 5 minutes to get like a pretty good.
Mhm,
What's it called?
yeah.
I have hours of you all talking, so I think
Mhm.
if I ever decided to AI synthesize you and replace you, then we'd be fine.
Okay, this is actually. Oh god.
Doing a fully AI synthesized episode sounds funny.
I do the AI stuff like actually like regardless of whatever people was like. I guess like a year ago or whatever when the like moral debate around it, whether it was like real art or whatever. Forget that. AI legit like AI art, especially AI art, gives me the creeps. Like it actually makes my like it gives me
You don't
goosebumps.
like it? You don't like it when they have 7 fingers?
No, not even the 7 fingers. The ones I really hate are like
They
people
all
will
look the
put
fucking same. I hate it so much.
that, but no. It's like there'll be like logos, like McDonald's logos or like text logos, right? Of like whatever brand, right?
Mm.
And like they'll be slightly distorted. Like the McDonald's like arch will be like at a 75-degree angle. You know what I mean? Like it'll just look wrong. That stuff like actually gives me the chills. I don't know why, but it just looks it's like so close to the actual logo, but it's like slightly off that it just like makes it weird. Like I don't know. I have like that. It's like called like the uncanny valley effect. Do you guys know what that is? Like
Yeah.
the it's like
Yeah.
it's like so close to what looks real or like human, I guess, in the case of like people, but like it's like just slightly off that it like gives you the chills. Like AI art, I actually can't look at it. Like I feel like throwing up. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
If-
well,
you
that's
ever
maybe
posted-
a little. It's a little
Well, that's
extreme.
No, it is definitely extreme. I mean, I've heard of some people like having that, but it's just like I don't know. It just kind of makes me very anxious for whatever reason. So
It's like those pictures. They get worse the longer you look at them.
yeah, and there are like some where it was like I think it was supposed to be like a wall of like stuffed animals, but like you couldn't make out what they were. Like they were like very vaguely, if you looked at it from a distance, oh yeah, these are stuffed animals. But if you looked at the details, they were like actually not complete stuffed animals. It was so. Ugh. But yeah, that's my like I don't know, trauma or whatever you want to call it with AI art. Don't post that shit.
You
in
got
front of me.
That's
trauma now.
I
yeah.
actually do. Like I actually no, I was like in
We'll get
another
Ed
server and
back
people were
in here
posting
to-
AI art of like Disney movies or something like that. And the Disney logo was like so fucked up and it was just like, oh my god, it's so weird. Ugh. I just hate it.
Yeah, we'll get Ed back
That's
on
what-
the show, and he can give you a consultation.
No. Yeah. So I think the AI voices I'm like kind of okay with just because like I don't know, I like view it in my head as like an imitation of somebody else's voice, but like
I
art,
like it when it's stupid shit like Joe Biden and Donald Trump playing video games together, but I don't.
yeah, that's just so
I
funny.
hate the idea that like one day it's gonna be like so
Doing
good
real things.
that like maybe someone AI synthesizes Joe Biden saying I'm gonna bomb Russia, and then Russia's like, I don't know about that. Well, now granted, I don't think AI voicing would ever like actually cause anything because before you launch yourself into a nuclear war, you're going to
Yeah, of course.
you're going to thoroughly check.
People need to verify that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the thing I'm most concerned or like think about is like AI getting so good that it could like write stories at like an actual high level. Which we've
Yeah.
discussed before.
Yeah, we talked about it before.
We,
And our
we
opinions
made
on
our
that.
own story.
yeah. I don't think the AI was too sophisticated on
AI
that
is
one,
not there yet.
Mr.
To
Studious.
be fair, a lot of time has passed relative to
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna
Our
do much
story,
better.
our
Regardless.
Not
story
not, but
was
yeah.
passable. Anime of
Okay,
the story that
passable's
the
a
AI made,
strong word.
it was watchable.
It was watchable. The words, the like very basic Spark Notes description that it put on the screen.
It was better than Orient.
It was better than the Orient. I'm not saying that because I had a direct hand in it and I was as a character in it. I'm gonna be honest. My the ones that we just came up with on our own, the Emoto Isekai, that show is gonna be better than Orient. So it's a very low bar to
Not the
clear.
Stop this. That was such. What was that, like episode 3?
Yeah, it's episode 3.
Bro, no more emoto.
The school. What was it?
No
The
more
7
emoto
Deadly
stuff,
Sins
please.
school? The spatulas, I think, or like prison. What was yours? Your
It was just like
story
hell or
way
some
back?
shit.
Yeah, it was like hell.
It was like Classroom of the Elite in hell.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it was like you're escaping. Yeah, the school of hell or whatever. I don't know. It was sick. Would have been cool.
And then PK's was like interplanetary combat or some shit. I'm gonna be honest. I zoned
Mine
out
is
when you were talking about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
You got,
I got
you
too
got
too
deep into the
excited
weeds.
talking about it.
You know what? That's good. That's good.
I've like further developed that story over the past year. Also, it is
shit.
not the same story as the podcast anymore
Okay,
because
okay.
when we were talking about it, there were so many cliches nowadays that were not cliches when I was 5 and created the story, but now they're cliches.
Yeah.
So there were a few things that changed. Um, I think it's a better story now, but I will not repeat it on a podcast again because that took too much time.
Yeah, I don't remember how long. I want to say it's like
I want to say I
it was
was
like
like the
40
bulk of
minutes
that
maybe.
episode. I may have been
Mhm.
half of the episode alone.
It'd be like that. I mean,
It's
there's
good.
nothing
You're
wrong with getting
passionate about it.
excited.
I like
Yeah,
it. I
was
like that.
passionate.
No, the AI. I would be. I think I'd freak out if someone made like AI of my voice. Like I think I'd be
I
actually like.
do, as much as I do say that I fear when an anime can make, or like when an AI can make a legitimate story, I do kind of feel like I want to be alive when the first like fully AI scripted anime is released.
Oh, it's just Rent a
Because
Girlfriend.
you know that's gonna happen eventually.
Yeah, but
At this point,
hopefully not in my lifetime.
Rent a Girlfriend is AI. I think he's AI generating ideas
I
to keep
think
this shit
that
going.
might be.
AI gone rogue.
I
Dude,
think that might be real.
Have you seen the recent dude? When I saw a screenshot of him sitting next to an alien, I'm like, oh my
Wait, what?
god! You haven't
What's
seen? They got
No,
aliens
no,
in
I
Rent
have
a
not.
Girlfriend now. Hold on.
I'm out, bro. What?
I haven't
Let
seen
me get
aliens.
let me get the tweet.
Okay, yeah.
Humans were too mundane. They had to
Uh,
go. They had to go crazy.
I see immediately a thread on the new Rent a Girlfriend season that says, "Is Rent a Girlfriend stretching too much?"
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
It's been.
always
It's
has.
been
that's
stretching
exactly
too
what I
much,
said
bro.
when I posted this tweet, and I said, "This motherfucker will do anything but end the series." Like,
Bro, what the?
I think so. Have you seen the period panel?
Probably.
He
No.
gave a double page spread to Chizuru saying that she has a period, and apparently this alien is like a representation of a period or something.
Wasn't this a? This is like Big Mouth with the puberty monster or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know
That's
anything
what
about
that
Big
makes me
Mouth
think
other
of.
than people don't like Big Mouth.
It's not good. Don't watch it.
I'm
Um,
not going to. I've not heard any gleaming reviews of Big Mouth.
there was one night that me and a bunch of friends watched some of it. And no more details needed on what else was happening that night. But
Understandable.
don't watch it. It's not very good. But that's what this reminds me of. little period monster alien.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the full it's just I see this panel and I'm like, you gotta end the series. If you've gotten to this point, you have to
You
look at
gotta-
that and you have to give yourself a good like. You gotta think about it. Is it really worth the money?
He's just like me for real.
How is there a fourth girl now?
There's always been 4.
There's
Or a
always
fifth
been 4.
Fifth girl. Sorry, I can't count.
Oh
But
yeah.
she
How's there
came
a
in season 2.
Oh my
I don't
god.
remember. I watched it 4 times speed. It might have been season 3.
I don't know. I dropped this
She's
shit.
not
after-
real. She's
Why
like
was so crazy in 4 times speed, bro?
she's like his neighbor or some shit. She's like not interested in him at all. She's like a life
fair.
coach.
A
Sometimes.
life coach.
Honestly,
Anytime she shows
He
up,
needs one. He needs one for sure.
he desperately needs one. Yeah, I don't know. It's
I don't know. I watched 3 episodes of Red to Girlfriend, said this is not it, and never went back.
yeah. I watched a season. I'm like, man, this is pretty ass. And then someone's like, I swear it gets good. And then I read the manga. I'm like,
And then you
"Oh,
read it, and
man."
it didn't get good.
And then it got worse. It got like the season 3 content. I'm like, maybe the author's coming around. And then we got the pool arc, and then it was all downhill from there. We don't talk about the pool arc. You have to really try to make me actively drop your manga. Like, it's the only one I've ever like actively like thought and made the conscious decision that I will not be reading this anymore, as opposed to like I read a few chapters and then like I never got back to it or some shit. This is like I'm done. I cannot do this. Yeah, I'm not ready for the when it ends binge. It's gonna be like 500 chapters or some shit, and I'm gonna have to like really suffer through that just to
don't
see.
smile.
Well, no, I have to. I'm 218 chapters in. I've
He's
got to finish it
committed,
eventually.
Leash.
I say that, but I'm 400 chapters in the Tower of God. And I still haven't continued that. Not that I dislike or anything. It was one of those things where, no, not even close.
That's fair.
It keeps like the artist has a lot of health issues, obviously, because they've drawn hundreds of chapters of Tower of God under horrible working conditions. So their wrist is like extremely fucked, and so it just goes on hiatus every now and then. I don't know if it's back right now or not, but season 2's coming out for that soon, ish. I think it's like summer 2024.
Ish. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it was summer 2024. I don't remember. I know Crunchyroll revealed it or some shit that anime might see. But that's all I remember about that. I will watch. I wonder how long it'll be, because like I don't know where they're gonna. I don't know, Tower God is a difficult thing to adapt into anything. It's hard enough.
Difficult to adapt. No, I won't be toxic. I take it back.
Oh, do it. Now you've committed.
Or you're just gonna call it bad.
I was gonna talk about how the art is literally scribbles.
I mean, it gets a lot better, like a lot better.
I know.
Scribbles
Well,
crazy.
I don't know. I haven't seen the better art. I've only seen like the first 20 chapters as I attempted to read it, and was just like, this is like unconsumable.
Yeah, and I don't think it was that bad, but anyone improves over time. Like Attack on Titan's art used to be like pretty bad at the start, and then it improved considerably. Or not bad comparatively to like other things, especially for like a monthly or whatever.
I think for a monthly Attack on Titan's art, at the beginning was very M-word.
Mediocre.
Yeah, that's an M-word too.
Yeah, shit like Medalist is what you should be getting like when with a monthly package, unless it's like monthly for other reasons than like big detailed chapters.
Like Black
Clover
Clover switching
every
to
3
monthly,
months or
but
whatever.
It's Is
But
every 3 months? I don't know.
think it's
I know.
I think it's every 3 months. Yeah, just for the author's health.
Well, it's like the author's wife's health or something like that, if I remember right. Like it's like he's taking care of his wife. Like his health is also
not great.
a factor, of course. But
POV,
it's
you
like
are a mangaka.
His wife is like been hospitalized several times and stuff like that. So it's like a mix of both.
Yeah.
Has anything new even dropped for Black Clover since then? I don't know.
No clue.
I think it's funny. I was looking at Black Clover, and there's a thread on here that says, "Does the MC have a crush on his sister?"
Okay, dude.
And
Yeah, I don't need to know anymore.
he no no
People
no
can ship whatever they want.
no 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 no
I'm
no
out,
no
bro.
no. Hear me out, because this is a misunderstanding.
Oh, it's like a nun.
He does not have a sister. Yes,
Yeah.
he is raised by a nun. Not raised by a nun, but like raised in an orphanage, and there's a nun there, and also like pastor and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So it's Sister Lily, not his sister. But also he grew up around her, so like there's maybe a sister debate there, but that's not the point.
That's complicated, and we're not going to talk about that.
If anything, I feel like their relationship is probably more like mother son, but I think it's not. I never got that, but I think the thread saying, "Does he have a crush on his sister?" in this context is hilarious.
A little goofy. It's like one of those like fun out of context screenshots to see if you're like a fan of something, but then I don't know. Anyway,
No more shipping.
yeah. I'm still mad. We really blew the load on last episode.
Blew the load is crazy, bro. Pause.
This episode's been good too.
This episode's been like we had good.
It's-
Thankfully,
yeah.
we had good topics.
The other
Like,
topics we had were like they're lost. I can't remember them, and it's like hard to, talk about them again.
this episode's like you
I
versus
just
the
don't want
guy
to
she
have
tells
the
you not to
whole
worry about.
JJK studio conversation again, which is sad because that was another like pretty good conversation that
the
actually
the
lost.
stuff. Yeah, that was funny. It was just funny and sad, but yeah.
Yeah,
Just-
it'll never happen again, probably.
Unless Mappa.
I mean,
does
yeah,
more.
but
I meant like the episode
you mean
being
the
lost.
episode? Yeah. I was like, I don't know.
Mappa
We could get
abusing
some-
their animators definitely will happen.
Yeah.
again.
We're gonna see some stuff. There's gonna be some stuff coming out from them for sure.
We're only on episode 18 of 23. We got time.
Yeah. Once it's over, they're gonna pop off. They're gonna
We'll see
they're
what
gonna get
happens
back at
when
everybody.
the contracts are up. To see if anyone
Yeah.
cares.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because there was actually a rumor at one point. I'm pretty sure it was confirmed fake or some shit. But they were like Mappa was like making people sign NDAs to like not talk about how dog shit the conditions are, which I doubt
Terrible.
it. But
Yeah,
That'd be terrible.
that doesn't sound.
that
real.
was floating around for a bit.
Yeah.
It would be kind of fun if they were. Like that sounds like
fun
like
is
fun, not like fun for the people, but like that's a crazy thing to do.
It's a very crazy thing to do.
But that's not something that I think people do.
You would probably have very difficult like legal time. Like they don't have to sign the NDA.
Yeah.
When you fire all your animators, then you're really in trouble. But yeah. Maybe we should like build a time machine or something. That'll be like episode 81. We can go build
Build
a
a time machine. Go back and join the call with ourselves and be like, hey, check your audio settings.
Yeah.
I send like an interstellar message or some shit, like banging on the wall, like yelling at him to switch, yelling at me to switch the settings, or not even just check. Yeah, I don't know. It is annoying that like usually like whenever we're in call, I have like OBS open and I'm like looking at the bars.
And this is like the one time.
The one time I don't is the one time OBS is like we're gonna do a little trolling. Like we could have lost the fucking. We could have lost a multitude of episodes, and I
We've
probably would have
definitely had a few just like clock in, clock out episodes.
Yeah, we could have lost the Daniel's new manga awakening. We could have lost
How is that?
Japanese people are old. What's our worst video? What's our worst one? Let me look at this real quick.
That's actually like by metrics or yeah, I guess
just
we
view
have-
count.
For episode 69, man. That shit took some years off my life talking about that
Episode
stuff, bro.
69 is probably the best episode.
It was, but it was like
In
best of,
terms of view count, if we're being okay, so 79 is the lowest, but that was literally
That was
that's
literally
technically our newest episode. Let it cook in the oven a little bit. But in terms of things that are like over a month old, anime blogs is our worst performing
yes,
episode.
that's fair.
It is fair.
Just like blogs, dying content.
Yeah,
And
facts.
then
Or
it's a tie between anime video games and Japanese people are old.
anime video games was so
How many people
long
are old?
ago. That's the
Facts.
thing.
It's facts.
Anime video games was from season 1.
That is
Let's
episode.
see.
Yeah, that's episode 6.
Yes, that's an ancient episode to be top 3 lowest.
Yeah, it's that's. I think on a
But I
like
don't even
actual
think
scale, it's
content
probably our
for
worst.
that. Yeah, I don't think the content for that was even that bad.
I
I
think
just
we were
think
just
it's
like not good at podcasting by then.
well, yeah.
I feel like I didn't have that much to talk about in terms of anime video games because it's like,
Yeah,
I mean, they exist. It's also
I
like,
it's a
also
pretty dry topic.
think it's not a particularly like compelling topic at all.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll never believe which one is our most viewed.
I mean,
Oh, we'll never believe
Joseph. Joseph?
Joseph Pokiemundi
Joseph.
episode.
The
Wow.
GOAT. The GOAT.
I can't
That's
believe
my
that-
guy. That's my guy.
Yeah, I can't believe the guy with 400,000 subscribers got his views. That's crazy.
400,000 is crazy.
That is my goat.
It's kind of surprising.
Yeah, he had like
Not surprising, but like
in the 300s when he was with us, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's Pokemon.
Yeah, he's like in that awkward
he's
position
been-
where like
He's been
he's got like a
fairly big for a long time. Is the thing.
yeah, but it's also like his niche is like the fact that he's gotten to 400K with what he does is honestly pretty impressive. Like he's not like out there doing like a bunch of nuzlocks and shit and like posting like giant videos onto his like his videos aren't the type that'll get a million views. Is basically it.
Yeah. And they never have been. It's just the ones that he likes, and they're like catered to a specific.
Yeah, it's
I
a
think,
it's a niche within a niche.
no, but
within a
the
niche.
thing is, I've seen some of his shorts, and some of them
Well,
have.
his shorts. Well, yeah, shorts
They get
are
a lot.
completely different thing to like
Oh
what he
no,
does.
I agree. It's just like I think that kind of stuff.
Shorts have definitely also.
And his
given
shorts are
him,
really
like,
good. Like they're very concise and they're very like
Yeah.
informative. Like I really like his shorts.
Shorts have also given him a little bit of a boost because he was stuck. For,
Yeah,
like,
I think
a
over the
long
past like
I
time,
mean,
year.
yeah,
now
shorts
he
are
started to
definitely
go
giving
really
him
good.
like for sure giving him a boost. I mean, shorts. If you consistently make shorts and you like get views on them, you will definitely receive a buff from that.
Mhm.
I think this is what this is really saying is we need more guests. When's the last time we had a guest actually that wasn't someone we
It hasn't
knew?
been that
He
long,
tricked.
has it?
Oh no,
Might
we
be.
didn't know. I mean,
Oh, not someone we knew. Ed.
we,
Well,
I mean,
you knew
that's
Ed.
Well,
yeah.
but-
Well, I didn't know. I technically didn't
no,
know Ed.
you know, yeah.
Yeah, I had to email his business email to get in contact with him. I did not
Hey,
know.
that's you know.
Which is funny because like
So-
before he even like saw the email, I followed him on Twitter on my like YouTube account, and he followed me back. So like I could have DM'd him on there too, like in the worst case. That was episode
Send an
56
email.
with
Hype.
him. He is our second biggest episode, unsurprisingly.
That's fair.
Yeah.
We should have Brandon next.
We'll see. I have like
I
a trove of people I could ask. I should just like put an open
Yeah.
invitation into the.
Everything I've seen that you've showed me, Brandon stuff, I'm like, he seems based.
He's a cool guy. Yeah. Like I would not like what he has done for me recently, despite us only getting to know each other in some capacity, like very very recently. I definitely appreciate it. He's a good guy. Because like we had never really interacted ever in the history of ever, but then like I interacted with a few tweets. We talked in those, and he followed me back, and then eventually we talked more. Yeah, it's just the power of networking, I guess, is a very cool thing that you don't. It's I guess simpler than you'd think it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta talk, bro.
Yeah. I hate that. I hate that shit so much.
Most like good people will also talk to you, and that's something that people don't think about as much when you're on like the end of like being the smaller person reaching out, or like the newer person reaching out.
Yeah.
But like most genuinely good people aren't really gonna mind that much.
Yeah, I don't like a technical level. I didn't even. He like reached out to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to do whatever?" I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool, cool."
Sure.
I
Yeah.
guess I have more people I know and resources available to me that I never would have thought of met ever before. Um, but yeah, I could probably like literally just say, "Hey, anyone want to guest? Anyone? Open invitation." Uh, yeah, I like guest episodes, especially
I like guest episodes when like they're people that
I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
when we
I've
don't know
liked
what
a
they're gonna
few where
say.
it's like people who are also people who like make things, right? And
Yeah,
like the Ed episode was phenomenal because Ed's a very interesting person, but he also has like
a very interesting
stake
niche.
in things. Yeah, exactly. So we can talk about his niches and like opinions on this stuff because he's in this, and it's not just like, hey, here's my friend Jacob. Um, he likes anime too, and like those episodes can still be fun because we're friends and there's like uh synergy there, obviously, but they're also just like other fans and not as much like other creators. Not that Spat and I are really creators either. We just come
You're
hang out.
technically
We
on
are
a very
creating something.
technical level. I have forced you into this situation. Uh, yeah, it's definitely something I should try and do more often. At one point, I was motivated to do that, and then I don't know what happened. It just, I got, contacted Ed. I got him. Like, all right, I'm done. Mission accomplished. We never have to. I don't think I put featured Mars on the what's it called, the 69 episode. That stuff. Oh yeah, it's called it nice. Yeah, he didn't need to be featured
Funny.
on. Anyway, uh, but yeah, it was. I mean, fuck, that's like half a year ago. Basically, was our last non-friend guest. Um, I think
It's really
Atrix was
been
still
that
an interesting
long.
grab.
Atrix is a great grab. Um, I guess Atrix is also creator-ish.
Yeah, I mean he's an artist and he makes thumbnails for a
Search
content
creators.
creator.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a little different because Atrix has been our friend since like before he started doing a lot of that stuff
Mhm.
seriously, but like he's still got like those things going on for him now.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you that his like Pachirisu Kagurabachi or whatever that art. That shit.
That
No,
that
I'm going to
yeah,
other servers and people are posting that. They're like, dude, this is sick, and I'm like, oh yeah, I
you're
know
like
that guy.
I know that
Atrix.
guy.
yeah, like I've
Michael Rogers.
known that guy for a decade,
That's the guy that likes Naruto, and even though he hasn't seen the anime.
even
Yeah.
though he hasn't watched it.
It's
Yeah,
just so
absolutely
stupid.
loves
Oh
Naruto.
god, I hate. I get it, but I hate it.
I don't. It was
I
very.
aspire to be someone who can say my favorite anime is something I've never seen.
Yeah,
Yeah. I thought about like I told him to flip a coin, but I thought about asking him to just come on sober. But I'm so glad I just said, hey, flip a coin for it. I don't care. Like, because I feel like Baked Atrix was much funnier than
That's like
anything we could have ever gotten
the
out of Atrix.
that's like
Atrix.
the experience you want to have with Atrix.
Yeah, it was just this was never going to be a serious well, not even that like any of our episodes are like particularly serious, but um I don't know. So yeah, maybe I'll put out like a call. I'll like signal I'll flash the bat signal or the rabbit the rabbit signal. Uh yeah, I don't know. It's definitely something I want to do more at some point. I just think it can't be hard. It can't be hard. We had to. It took a little bit to get our schedules lined up with Ed. Now, granted, he's a very busy person. You
I
know.
feel like we also tried to like specifically make him like the next episode in our or like
Well, we
you
didn't
know what I
know.
mean?
We're just
Like
like
within
it'll
a
happen when it happens,
frame.
type thing.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, I don't know. We got very lucky with like when we did Joey. It was like, well, yeah, actually, this upcoming week, I'm free, but we need to do it
Yeah.
before like X point. I'm like, perfect. We're gonna get this shit out of the way. We will
Yeah.
not risk anything else.
Joey was just like whenever, honestly.
Yeah,
That's because Joey's my goat. Joey's also known us for so long.
Yeah, I was very thankful for him to actually. I mean, I was shoot my Atrix was going to be the rebound for that episode, but because I was fully expecting to get shot down, but he's like, yeah, sure. So I'll definitely always appreciate that.
No, because one, Joey's like one of the most chill
Joey's super
guys
chill.
I know. He basically, if you say like, "Hey, I want to do something," he's able to. He'll be like, "Yeah, I'm in." But like I said, he's known us, and that's like a big difference for him.
Yeah, like
it's just the fact that he knows us, and like I've helped him out with a lot of the Pokemon stuff. Especially's helped him out with some Pokemon stuff.
yeah, it's
Like
like he interacted
that
like on a
means a
personal
lot to
level
him.
with multiple
Yeah.
of us, and so not even, I don't know why I'm saying multiple, all of us, and so yeah, it was like different from like someone just joined the server, like, hey, come do this thing, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is basically what I said when we were talking about. Is I was like, just ask him. Like, he'll do it.
Yeah. Shout out to Lace. Been left out of this conversation.
This
Our first guest.
Lace is my go.
Yeah.
Lace is a funny one. That was in the middle of my gacha addiction. I say that as I still don't have problems, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
But he's doing good stuff. He's always doing good stuff.
Actually, I haven't checked his channel in a while. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna click on his. I'm gonna search up his. What's it called? I'm gonna hope that he doesn't have a video that plays on his channel page, so I don't have to.
I think he's been doing
that.
like. Yeah. When is the last time he did anything? Actually,
it's been a month since he uploaded.
Yeah, that's fair.
See, I don't know what's going on there.
His Discord thing says I'm cooking. That's
cooking.
his that's his
That's good. That's
Discord.
good.
I think he fell into the pot. I mean, he's grown like a decent amount since it was like a year ago ish.
Yeah.
I mean, well over a year, but I think he's like.
I mean, yeah,
13K. Then he's like around like 10,000.
Yeah, he is like the definition of like just in his niche and
yeah, he's like
thriving.
He's got a very
it's like not a big niche, so
niche, yeah, and a niche of people that like to lose money. It's a difficult niche to be in.
you say that, but Lace is like mostly free to play with all this stuff.
I mean,
he's not afraid to spend a little if he needs to. Like, I'm pretty sure I got him to spend a little bit when we were doing rank 1 push. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully we see a comeback from him. I don't know what he's cooking, but
he's cooking something.
Allegedly
I
cooking something.
I don't want to find out what he's cooking now. I might tag him and be like, "What you cooking?"
What was he cooking? Yeah, he streamed like a few weeks ago, so it wasn't like a straight up month. But yeah, it's been a little bit anyway. Speaking of upload, I should probably do that. It's difficult every time. Like, all right, I got the idea for the script. I sit down and I'm like, I don't really feel like it, and then I push it off, and then I get busy.
Do you ever write like multiple scripts like have multiple things cooking at once?
I'll have different ideas I'm cooking. Like I have my next 2 videos planned, and I have a fair idea of what I'm gonna do after that as well. But I would never write multiple scripts at the same time. If I have a script written, the next day it's getting voiced and edited, is basically how it goes. It's just a matter of me sitting down and being like, all right, script time. It's very difficult for me to do that. It's the funny thing is the process I enjoy the most, but it's also the process that I like put off the most as well. For whatever reason, but human moment.
Yeah.
However, human moment was last week.
Human moment is crazy.
When
That's
human
so
moment was
funny.
last week.
Nobody
when
would say that. It's just so silly.
I'm just yapping.
I got you.
I'm just yapping. But we're gonna cease yapping because it's the end of the episode. If you enjoyed this episode that you could hear all three of us in, then
Yes.
you should hit the like button or rate us 5 stars, whatever platform you're on. I don't know if I mentioned this, but we got enough ratings to be rated on Spotify. We're a
That's kind of
4.9. So whoever rated us 4 stars, fuck you. Change that to 5.
We did talk about this in one of the episodes. It might have been the cursed episode, or not the cursed episode.
It would have
the
been
last
the cursed
episode.
episode. I don't remember. I don't. It should. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was.
Now that you say this, I remember the 4.9 discussion.
Maybe I mentioned it in like pre. I don't feel like I've mentioned. I don't know. Anyway, if this is the second time I'm telling the person who gave us 4 stars, fuck you, I apologize. However, I would still like you to change that. Anyway, if you're on the audio only side of things and you like to go to the YouTube, Is the Order an Anime Podcast? Can't possibly miss it. We're the only one. Same thing for YouTube audio only. I refuse to fix the links because that's going to take a long time, and I don't want to do that. And so you will have to search up Is the Order an Anime Podcast, and we will be there, because if anyone else has stolen our intellectual property that we technically don't own because we spoofed the logo, technically, it was a heavily inspired, is what I'll say there. But,
The logo's still fire.
it is fire. I don't care if like
Atrix
only
made that. No, it wasn't
No.
Atrix. It was
Atrix was who I
we
approached
talked about Atrix,
initially,
yeah.
and then I found someone who was doing it for much cheaper, and I had already worked with that person before, so I'm like, sorry, Atrix son.
Sorry,
I have found
no,
I have found
but-
someone else to procure this logo. However, anyway, not important. Where was I? Every Saturday, 3 p.m. EST, where we fail sometimes. Our first technical fail on the whole uploaded in general thing. Well, no, it was uploaded. You know what? Saturday, 3
It was
p.m.
uploaded.
EST without
At-
fail, except for
If
when
you
we
were
do.
fast enough at Saturday 3 p.m., you could have listened to the whole episode of Only Daniel.
You could have. Actually, I think it was like 5 p.m. when I uploaded it. Not gonna lie. It's like I got home and because we recorded Friday and I was already tired, and I've been doing schoolwork and shit. And I'm like, all right, I'll just upload this when I get home tomorrow. I forgot to do that, and so I don't know what I was doing. It definitely wasn't anything important, but I forgot to upload it, and so it came out at 5, and then I get pinged later. It's like, no audio. I'm like, oh, well, fuck.
Ooh.
Unfortunate. But yeah, every Saturday, 3 p.m. EST without fail, except for when we do, there will be an episode up. So I hope you enjoyed this here episode, and we hope to see you in another one. Thank you, and goodbye.